Hey guys, so it's time to do this video where we will be comparing my Samsung Galaxy Note 2 versus my HTC One. So let's just start off here. So HTC One, it's a new device from HTC. It's a new device from HTC for the year of 2013. And of course, the Galaxy Note 2 is a big Samsung device hit from last year. Samsung did release two flagship devices last year. The first one was the Samsung Galaxy S3, and then they released their second phone, the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, which is kind of amazing. It's kind of like a Galaxy S3 but with some improved specs, and also that you do get the S Pen features, so you can really use this phone here in a cool way. And that the screen is so huge also means that it comes with a huge battery and some really cool S Pen features. And this is also the 4G variant of the Galaxy Note 2 that I'm using right here. And then we do have the HTC One, which is HTC's new device here for 2013, and we're probably going to see a new Note device from Samsung also this year coming out. So that's of course is very nice. So first thing we want to do here is to check out the specs. So what we're going to do here is we're going to check out the Price Buy app, and then we're going to search here for HTC One, and then we search here for the Note. So what we can see here is that the price is at around 400 to 500 bucks here on the Note 2, while you can pick up the HTC One here for around a little bit more expensive, 500 to down to around 600 bucks. No, 600 pounds, of course. So pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds. So around 100 more extra pounds is what you probably will have to pay to get the HTC One, and you might wonder, is that worth it? You know, is it worth it? That's why I'm doing this video, because these are two very nice smartphones overall that people are wondering about. So in this video we will be going over a lot of things here. The first thing that we will start off here is with the form factor of these two smartphones. So we'll be starting off here to cover the front side, and from what we can say here about the front side of these two phones is that first we do have more of a thinner form factor here on the HTC One, because it has a smaller display, which makes it a little bit smaller here in the form factor. So 4.7-inch screen versus a 5.5-inch screen here on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. Also, you can see the stereo speakers here on the front side here, the boom sound, which HTC is calling it, on the front side over here. So you will get nice stereo speakers here, so that's like the best sound you can get on a smartphone right now if you talk about the stereo speakers, if you use that feature a lot. And then also you get two buttons down here that's not built into the screen. So this is two, I was supposed to say, capacitive touch buttons. If they would be inside the screen, they would call like on-screen buttons. So two capacitive touch buttons, one for the home there, and then one for the back key. So also, if you want to multitask on this device, you have to double tap on this one, and you can hold in also on the home screen to quickly access Google Now. There's no button here in the middle. So also we do have the camera here. So now let's take a look at the Galaxy Note, which has more of a plastic feel to it, of course. This one is more a metallic kind of material, which is making it feel very exclusive when you're holding it. But this one is a little bit more plastic. So you have Gorilla Glass 2 on top here to protect the screen against scratches, and it works very good when I've been doing knife videos. So you can see more or you have a rounded off design here. We do have two capacitive touch buttons. You still have the menu key here on Samsung devices, and then you have a real hardware button, and the hardware button there, it could be very good, because that means that you can turn on the display on the front side of the phone. As you can see here, is tap it like that, and I can just do it with one finger here to fire up the display. If I want to do the same thing here on the HTC One, I can't do that. I can't use one finger either. I need to use my like hand to power it on, so that could be something worth considering. And then if we continue up here, we can see that we do have this major display. We have the logo at the top instead of at the bottom, and then also of course we do have the camera. So that's a look at the front side here. If you take a look at the right side, we can see here that we have volume up and down keys here on the HTC One on the right side. You can see here also when I move this one up and down, I'm not sure about the build quality, but it moves around. It kind of feels like it's going to break or something, but hopefully it is in good quality. Very nice aluminum side here of the phone that kind of has a weird kind of design like this, which makes the phone feel a little bit bigger. Would be better if it was a little bit more rounded off here on the side instead of pointing like this in its design. That will feel a lot better. So that is on the right side here. The right side on the Note phone, where we do have the power on button to power on the display if you don't want to power it on over here. Very nicely aligned here, just because this is a big phone. So Samsung did think about where to align the power on button. When we look at the left side here, first on the HTC One, we do have the SIM card tray here, where you need to have a little guide so you can put out the SIM card, and that's of course something that you get along with the HTC phone when you buy it. While on the Galaxy Note 2 here, we get volume up and down keys here, very nicely aligned here for your thumb, or for your fingers here to change the volume up and down. Now you might be wondering, where is the power on button on the HTC One? Well, they decided to put it at a weird place, if you ask me, at the top place here, which is making it a little bit hard here to reach, because you have to use like this finger to try to reach it up here, and then also because the phone has a weird design like this almost, it's making it a little bit tricky to click on the button, and the button also doesn't sticks out too much, so it could be a little bit almost hard to find here. And then you do have the normal headphone jack here. You kind of see also the arch design here, which we'll take a look at pretty soon. So that is the button there. Also, it has a built-in IR port, so you will be able to control some remote things. Like you will be able to control some smart TVs and some different boxes, TV sets and stuff. And the Galaxy S4, that is Samsung's main flagship device for 2013, also has that built in, if you're wondering. But the Galaxy Note 2 doesn't have that feature. Now, if you take a look at the Galaxy Note 2, from the top side, we do have the headphone jack here, located on the left side. And then, if you take a look at the bottom here on both phones, they do have that port there to charge the device. A little bit weirdly placed here on the side, not in the middle. I'm not sure why HTC did that, but might not be a big thing there. But with some dock connectors, they have that in the middle. Then it would look weird to put this one in, because it would be on the side. Now, if you take a look at also here at the bottom side, of course, you do have the S Pen here on the Note 2. So if you start off here now on the back side, so you get definitely more of a quality feel here on the HTC One, with the very nice metallic back. A little bit of Beats logo there at the bottom also, because they're working together with those. You have this arch design, I suppose, like rounded design, which can make it wobble a little bit more when you do it like this. I don't think most people though will have a problem with that. This one is though a little bit more stable if you would do it like that. But I don't think, as I said, I don't think many people will have a big problem with that. You also see now the speaker here is located at the bottom here on the back on the Note 2. Of course, that's not a good thing, because most of the time when you play music, you don't want to have your front side scratched by using it like this. So of course the stereo speaker here really kills, and also that is on the front side on the Galaxy Note, or on the HTC One, of course, sorry, which is making it really killer phone here. And then also we do have the camera aligned here at the top, so you get an 8-megapixel shooter here on the Galaxy Note 2, pretty standard and basic. That what we've been seeing in high-end smartphones now for a while. While you do get the 4-megapixel camera here on the HTC One. Yes, it takes pictures in way lower resolution. As I said, 4 megapixel versus 8 megapixel. But then everything's not just about the megapixels, but I want to make it clear that when you take pictures and when you zoom in on the pictures, you will be seeing way more details on the Galaxy Note 2 and most other high-end smartphones coming out here 2013, and also phones that already did come out 2012. When you take normal pictures, you zoom in a lot, you'll be able to zoom in way more on 8 megapixel camera on a lot of devices, or 30 megapixel camera that's coming out on new phones, versus only the 4 megapixel resolution camera here that HTC One did go with. But they have a little bit of a cool feature that they call an ultra pixel, which even though it has way lower pixels, is making the pixels, I think, like 4 times or 3 times bigger. So it should perform better in low light conditions. But then we also should say that the Galaxy Note 2 has a mode where a night mode in the camera. And I did see that GSM Arena did try out the Galaxy S4's night mode versus the HTC One, and they actually, the Galaxy S4 did perform better. So it might also be the same thing here with the Galaxy Note 2. Because they're probably very, very identical in that kind of area if it is a software update. Then also HTC comes with a HTC Zoe feature, which is a pretty cool feature where if you take pictures a full day with the HTC One, it will make an album and like kind of like a movie out of it with their Zoe features, and make cool effects, and you can edit the pictures that you took under that day that you don't want to have with the Zoe feature, and then you'll be able to share it with your friends in various networks. And I think that for the mainstream audience, that could be a pretty cool little feature there with the HTC One. So now if we continue and let's fire on the display. Also, what I should say here about kind of the quality feel here, definitely the HTC One definitely feels way more solid here with its metallic design. It definitely feels very, very good to hold here with the rounded off for kind of arch design. Even though it has small little things here that I get a little bit annoyed by with the design, that they could have placed the buttons at a better place, and also the build quality could probably be a little bit better here on the buttons. And then I would definitely prefer if they had some kind of mode here to be able to activate the front side over here. I'm not sure if you can do that. I mean, I want to have a feature so when you click here on the front side, just like this, it should activate the screen. I'm not sure if you can build that in, but definitely that's something that I'm looking forward to in future phones, because I want to be able to turn my phone on with just one finger like that. Now let's continue on here, and let's dive a little bit into the software. So let's see here. That is some nice coffee. So the software. So how does the software perform, and what is the software that we're running here? First, these phones are both running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, which is Jelly Bean, that's the latest version of Android right now. And just to go over Android pretty quick here, Android is more freedom than Apple's operating system, so both these phones run Android, so they can kind of work the same way because they're coming out different firmwares that you can install and customize the UI itself. So you kind of can get the same design and exactly the same look on both these two devices if you are a geek and if you like to tweak around and stuff. But on top of Android, both HTC has their own kind of skinned UI on top, which they're calling HTC Sense, and the latest version of HTC Sense right now is Sense 5, versus Samsung's own TouchWiz. That TouchWiz is what Samsung is using on top of Android. And the first main thing I can say here is that Samsung has a lot more apps that they have made themselves for the phone experience. They do have the Game Hub, Learning Hub, Chat On service. They do have an All Share Play feature. They do have an S-Voice feature, S-Suggest, S-Planner, Readers Hub, Samsung Apps. They do, let's see here, if they have S-Note, of course, that is something that's very, very unique with the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, that you do have the S Pen feature, so you can take out the S Pen, and they have made so many features here. First of all, you can see that I'm not sure what this is being called, but immediately when you take out the pen, Samsung will help you here with the page here to help you with what you want to do. Do you want to write down a note, an idea note? Do you want to write down a meeting note, diary, recipe? And then also, of course, you can change pages. And also, if you go down from the notification center here, you do have some quick shortcuts which automatically activates when you bring out the pen. So you do have one here to, let's see, bring out the camera. So I'm not sure why I would want to bring up the camera. Maybe that's one of my favorite features. As you can see here, if I hold in and hold in this little thing on the pen, I can easily take a screenshot here, and I can instantly start to draw here. And as you can see here, we have different colors. And this is a very nice feature if you like taking a lot of screenshots on your phone. This is definitely one of my favorite features with the Galaxy Note 2. And I see that a lot of people do appreciate this little thing here. And then also, of course, you can remove things. And then also, of course, you do have this awesome feature where you can remove things that you don't want to see. So that's one of the killer features here with the Galaxy Note 2. Some also nice S Pen features here, of course, is that if we double tap like that, we'll get a quick S Note thing up here, so we can quickly write something down. Especially good for like business meeting and stuff like that. And then of course we have some other cool features here where we can start to type and using the pen. And also, of course, it's very nice that you can sign stuff here. And let's see what happens if we click on this one. You can go full screen mode. There we go. And then also, that's just the S Pen. I mean, like there's so many things you can do with the S Pen. You can, let's see here. Okay, that was just a normal screenshot, but there we go. You can just simply start to take out something. If you see something cool and you just want to take that, you can make a cool screenshot here of just that little thing, and then you can easily share it on your different various services here: Bluetooth, Paper Artist, Picasa, Instagram, Wi-Fi Direct, to all of your friends. So extremely nice here, and you can see just ideas here: diary, magazine, recipe, meeting note. There's just so much opportunity here, and I love the kind of creativity thing here with the S Pen. Extremely nice. And then also one of the cool things here, of course, with the Samsung's TouchWiz is that if you hold in on the back key here, you can multitask by using two apps at the same time. Now, this doesn't work with every app. Something worth considering or thinking about. But you can see here, I can open up Gmail, and then I could fire up another app here right next to it. And it's especially nice when you have a large screen like the Galaxy Note 2. It's really nice here that I can quickly, let's see here. Of course, it would take some time here to learn exactly how you can control this, but it's really cool that you can use two apps at the same time. I think a lot of people appreciate cool things like that. And then also, of course, the cool thing here with, let's take a look at the lock screen here also on this Samsung phone. You do have quick access to some apps right there. You have this kind of cool bubble effect. But the quick toggles here is also something that I use so much in my Galaxy Note 2, that I can quickly toggle things like Wi-Fi, GPS, vibrate. And then also this one is something that I use all the time to change the brightness. The screen rotation is something that I use a lot. Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth. And you have a ton of other modes here. Blocking mode to block everything that's coming in. Multi-window, you can actually disable that. And this feature is improved in the newer version of Android 4.2 that's going to come out probably pretty soon to the Galaxy Note 2, where you'll be able to they've added a ton of more quick toggles, which is extremely nice. You also have a quick access here to the settings area, which Samsung also has improved in the latest version of TouchWiz. So that's very nice there. So some extremely nice features there with the Samsung Galaxy Note 2's software UI here. And I can't of course go over all the Samsung apps here, but they do have some a ton of apps here, and also they do have also a ton of widgets. And I like the freedom that everything that's on this home screen, I think you can have like 8 home screens or something, 9 home screens maybe. You can control them fully. If you see an app that you don't want to have on the home screen, if you see a widget, Samsung allows you to remove every single thing. You can see if I don't want to see this one, I can easily remove it, and I will never have to see it again. And then also if you hold in like this, we can easily change the wallpaper here, of course. So let's go to the wallpapers. And there we go. That's how easy it is. Of course, you can see here that the experience is very, very smooth here, and you don't have any problems whatsoever. What I should tell you though is something that I've noticed with the Galaxy Note 2 is that when you have like a few thousand pictures, it could become very, very, very slow in terms of menus and stuff, but that might be kind of obvious. So that it's very, very simplified. The touchbase is not super advanced. And if you don't like the experience, how it looks like over here and everything, you can make it cool by installing another launcher like the Nova launcher, the Apex launcher, or whatever. But quickly look there in the Note 2. Now, if we talk about HTC here with Sense, it looks a little bit different. First, we can see here on the lock screen, you do have also some quick access to some widgets or some apps. And then you have a clock here that you swipe up to fire up the first home screen here. Now this is not the default home screen that you do get, but this is how it looks like. And then the app drawer looks a little bit different here compared to the TouchWiz experience. Here you have it in the middle here button, and instead of swiping you have a kind of like a scrolling view here of all of your apps. So when we go up here, they have a pretty cool feature that you can quickly search for anything. And the keyboard that they have in the HTC Sense looks very, very nice here. I kind of prefer it a little bit over the TouchWiz experience because it looks a little bit more optimized here. And I like the cool effect that they're doing. They have like a Roboto theme, which I definitely do enjoy a lot. I think it looks extremely good, extremely snappy here. But you can see here one thing that sometimes when I go back here and have it on the table, the phone wobbles a little bit. And then also you can sort all of your apps here by name or the latest one that you did install. And then also, of course, you can see that the widget over there at the top. So that's a quick look at the app drawer. Now, you can't have as many home screens with HTC here. You can have around, I think, 5 home screens. And then you have a feature called Blink Feed in the HTC One. So that is one swipe here to the left. If you have changed home screen, this is actually the default home screen. And this is the home screen that they're calling Blink Feed. So here you will be able to add some news sources, some news websites, and add them to a feed here where you'll be able to see their latest posts, their latest updates. You can see here that it quickly did update here. So I have some tech websites here that I can easily go into and read. So we do have the Engadget website here. I can quickly read there and have a look. I don't have to open up the web browser. So there we go. You can see I open up another one here. And it could be very, very nice if you find your favorite websites and add them to this little area here. Also, if you have Facebook and want to add Facebook, you can and see your latest friends' Facebook updates here in the Blink Feed area. So it could also be pretty sweet. Let's see here if you go down. You can also add more sources here to Blink Feed. If you go up here, you can see now I only have Engadget, but you can have your favorite websites being shown. So let's add my favorites here, and it will begin to update. There we go. So a nice little view here of that feature. You can see the widget up there also at the top, the same one that you do see on the lock screen and in the app drawer. And you can quickly customize this area by going here, and you can change the sources. So right now I do have The Verge and Engadget. I'm not sure if you can add like customized any website, but I don't believe you can do so right now. So that could be a thing that kind of sucks. You can also add, yes, you see Facebook, if you connect your Facebook, and Flickr, LinkedIn, Twitter, your calendar, TV, if you do have a TV that you want to support, because the HTC One comes with an IR port that you can take advantage of if you would like to do that. And then also you can see some categories here if you just want to show some custom categories. Also if you tap here, we can go down to the home screen area. So you can see here I can have 5 different home screens, and this is how one of the ways where you can access the home screen area. So you can just tap on a home screen and then quickly add the apps that you would like on that page. And then also you can access the home screen area by just holding in like that. So you can change the home screen, the main home screen here that you want to have as a start screen by just tapping on it and then hold in, and then you can make that as a new home screen. So that could be good if you hate blink feed, you don't want to see it, then that's kind of like a nice way to not have to see it. You can also change launcher to another launcher like Apex launcher, the Nova launcher, and then you won't have to see annoying blink feed. What I don't like about the blink feed page is that you can't actually remove it. It's built into the phone, so you have to change launcher to something else. Then also, if you want to change these at the bottom here, you can't hold in like this. If you hold in like this and take this one out like that, it will just create a duplicate, which looks kind of funny, that you can have multiple at the same here. Kind of funny, but how you do change them is just by going here into the app drawer, and this is the place where you have to put it. So this one, have to throw it away like that, and now we can change it. And then of course, in the notification area here, they don't have as many things. They don't have any quick toggles here to quickly change the brightness, or some quick other things like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and so on. But they do have a quick access here to energy saving mode, so you can save battery. And I kind of like it here with the sense that it looks extremely good here with the Roboto theme. It looks so good in menus and everything. Looks very impressive. But the thing that doesn't have quick toggles here, it makes me a little bit annoyed, just a little bit, because that's something I think that they should take advantage of, because this is Android. We want that freedom. But of course, with Android, you can decide to do that yourself by installing another firmware on this phone. But a quick little look there at some things there in the HTC One. It doesn't have super many features. It has a cool feature here, as I talked about before, in the camera. Even though the camera is low resolution 4 megapixel, the cool thing about the camera is this Zoe feature. So if you start, it will make like a 3-second video and then make pictures out of it as well. So you can see there, it was a 3-second video and the pictures. So you can see here, I can quickly take a picture or a moment here that I quickly want to save. And I can also quickly save it. So we feature also, as I said before, if you take a lot of pictures during a day, you can add Zoe, and it will can add some music to it, and then make a cool kind of slideshow out of it with different themes. It will make some places more dark in the pictures and everything. And I mean, like that could be a cool feature for many people, for normal mainstream people. I don't think geeks though, and also I'm not sure if most people use it. If you're just a guy that take pictures, and you don't really like gimmicky features like Zoe, that you record like a 3-second video and then you want to share it and everything. If you just like taking pictures, and when you record videos, you just want to record videos, then I mean it's nicer here with the Galaxy Note 2. Definitely, yeah. So now also, if you fire up the camera here, yeah, so you should also say a cool little thing here about the HTC One. It has some cool features here that I do actually enjoy a lot, which the Samsung One doesn't have, and that it has some built-in cool effects here that I think really is unique. Like this one, pretty cool, taking pictures like that. This one also. And then also, if we go down here, it has a cool kind of pixelated effect. Has a cool color effect here. kind of like almost Instagram effects, but not exactly. I do enjoy them. I really, really do enjoy them. And most of the time, I mean, 4 megapixel, if you're just going to share pictures and everything on Facebook, then it probably won't really matter because you probably still see kind of good pictures in 4 megapixel. It's still pretty high resolution, but if you really like to zoom in on pictures and everything on your phone, and you wanna take some pretty decent pictures and want to be able to zoom in a lot, then I will probably go here with the Note 2. So first of all, when you're taking pictures, it's a whole new experience here with the Note 2 that you have this large screen, so it looks really nice. You will see a lot, and also I think the field of view is a little bit better on the HTC One. You will see a little bit more from the same distance, and also it looks a little bit old here, not as fun in the TouchWiz experience. But you do have some nice features here. You don't have to scroll up that much. As you see here on the effects area, you do have some effects also. Even though I don't believe that they're super cool versus the HTC One. And then of course face detection, panorama mode, share shot, body photo share is something that's pretty cool. So if you have a lot of friends that also have Galaxy devices, and let's say you are at a party and everyone is like taking pictures and everything, then everyone could get the same pictures on their device. So that's a nice little way to see how Samsung really is making the experience more enjoyable. They really do have some apps that if you do take advantage of them, they are pretty useful, while you don't get as much on the HTC One. So you do have a chat on service also, so kind of chat service here from Samsung. Samsung also of course has their own Keys app to it's kind of like Samsung's own iTunes. Could be kind of fun to know. Now let's take a look at some specs here also. I mean, both are 4G smartphones, which you probably already do know. The HTC One is a little bit lighter and thinner here, of course, because the main thing is that it's a little bit smaller here in terms of its design. Also, the display technology here is you get a Super LCD 3 display here with the full HD resolution on the HTC One, and it's probably one of the most nicest displays I've seen on a smartphone. Looks really vibrant and really amazing here. And probably displays LCD displays usually displays the color white pretty good. So you get a high resolution display here, full HD versus 720p display on the Note 2. The Note 2 is using Samsung's classical Super AMOLED display, which is showing colors extremely vibrant, but I really can't see a difference here. I mean, like they're both extremely vibrant and good looking screens here. I think you will see most difference here in movie watching. We'll see how the screen perform here when we fire up like a game or the browser and see how the colors do perform. But you also get a bigger display here, of course, 5.5 inch. It really makes a difference to hold this Note 2 versus a smaller display than 5 inch or a smaller phone. It really is actually a difference between. I mean, you don't think that there is that big of a deal, but when you start to use 5 inch plus smartphones, you can really see more. The experience is kind of magical. I would say that going that step up to a way bigger display, it's going to be so much fun for me to when the new Note 2 comes out or the new Note 3 comes out, probably with that 5.9 inch display. That is going to really be cool to see what you can do with that. So I mean, both displays, I would say that this is probably. We'll see how it performs in the browser and everything, but I would say that this is when we talk about the display, I'm gonna say they are both equally good here. Really, it's it really is nice displays. And why, you know, they also say that can you really see a full difference between the 1080p versus 720p in terms of displays? We'll be opening up a reading app here, and we'll see. Most of the times, yes, you will see some better quality, but for main consumers, is it really going to be that much better? No, it's not going to be that much better. And if you talk about sound, stereo amplifier, a built-in amplifier also that you do get on the HTC One, boom sound, working with Beats Audio. You get some pretty decent headphones also along. I haven't tried them yet, but I will. This is how they look like. First I thought that they were Beats, but they aren't. But pretty cool here. If you talk about memory here, so you have some more freedom here, of course, on the Note 2, that you can remove the battery and you can install a much bigger battery if you would like. If your phone doesn't want to work together with you and you just need to turn it off, take out the battery. If you want to insert an SD card, you can, up to 64 gigabytes, so you can expand the already different variants of the Note 2 that comes in 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte variants. The HTC One only comes in 32 and 64 gigabyte variants. You can't remove the battery, and the battery is a little bit lower here on the HTC One versus the Note 2. You do get a cool IR port to control your TV with your phone. I actually tried it with my Galaxy S4 that also has an IR port, and it did work to control my Samsung Smart TV, but my box that I use for TV, it wasn't supported, it seems like, so I can't control that. But it is pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty cool. And then also, as I said about the camera, 4 megapixel versus 8 megapixel, it comes down to a lot with how you use the device. Do you think Zoe might be something useful for you? I think for most people, no, they won't use Zoe. So I think that the 8 megapixel camera definitely would be a lot nicer. But then also, if you take Facebook pictures, take pictures in low light, that should be the thing that the HTC One should focus a lot on. Then, I mean, cool, it's gonna be great. Now, let's continue. You get Snapdragon 600 in terms of chipsets here inside of the HTC One, same as you would get in the Galaxy S4, not the octa-core Galaxy S4 variant. And also, I think is it the same that you get in the Xperia? No, you get the old generation in the Xperia Z, but overall, it's a killer chipset. Versus you get Exynos inside of the Galaxy Note 2, and it does come also to come in a variant of the Galaxy S4. There's some people have been complaining about the heating. I think that the octa-core version of Galaxy S4 is using Exynos, but overall Exynos has big support. Exynos 4, big support for a lot of apps, a lot of different games, has amazing support for Exynos 4, so it's a good architecture. So you get a quad-core 1.6 gigahertz inside of the Note 2, 0.3 gigahertz higher on each core compared to the Galaxy S3, so it should perform a little bit better there, based on Cortex-A9 also, versus quad-core 1.7 gigahertz on the HTC One. That's a little bit lower than what you would get on the Galaxy S4. Instead of 1.9 gigahertz on the Galaxy S4, you get 1.7 gigahertz. So, but amazing performance here. Very much better performance here because it's a new architecture. But then you should know that some older games might not run as well, like a lot of Rockstar games. But Craig 300 versus Cortex-A9, of course, in terms of specs there, in terms of raw power, you will get some better stuff inside of the HTC One. And in terms of performance, it is a little bit more smooth here, and it will also perform a little bit better when I have a lot of games, a lot of apps and everything installed, because I did actually get so much lag issues with my older Note when I had so many apps and so many things installed. In terms of GPU, the graphic processing unit, when you play games, you get Mali 400 inside of the Note 2, which has amazing support for a lot of developers because it's the same GPU that was in the Galaxy S2. in the Galaxy S3. So a lot of developers has been focused on bringing out killer games that perform good with the Mali 400 versus Adreno 320 that you do get inside of the HTC One, which of course is a better graphic processing unit, but some older developers hasn't updated the games to run as good on it. But it's amazing. It runs Gameloft games better than Mali 400 because they are pretty good at optimizing their stuff. In terms of battery here, you get a battery life here also on the Note 2. That's the advantage also that you get on it, besides the bigger screen and the S Pen. So you get a 3100 milliamp battery inside of it, and also you can expand it. There are batteries twice that you can put in. Of course, you will get a bigger phone, but you do have that option, which is very, very nice. So 3100 milliamps versus 2300 milliamps, so you get around 800 more milliamps, which is very, 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 very nice. And then also that Samsung is pretty good at bringing out the latest version of Android pretty quick, and battery optimizations. Of course, both these two phones comes with their own energy saving modes. So you can see power saving mode here inside of the Note 2, CPU power saving, screen power saving. You can just fire that in to save some battery, and same here with the Note or HTC One, that you can save battery. And I've been using the Galaxy Note 2 for around 6 months at least, and the battery life never complained. It was better than what I got on the S3, so pretty great. And then also, of course, you have a higher resolution display here, a better GPU and a better processor, but that's going to draw some battery power on the HTC One. So you will get some battery life here, definitely on the Galaxy Note 2. So something worth considering, definitely. So now, if we start here to quickly first check out the browser here. So immediately what I can see here on the screens is that the Super LCD 3 display here on the HTC One do perform better in when we have the browser open up and the color white. It looks brighter. So definitely looks brighter here. Of course, the performance is good on both devices when you go in and out. You have a text reflow feature in the HTC, so when you have a lot of text that you want to read, the HTC device will try to reflow it. And I'm not sure if you can disable this, but I'm pretty sure you can. But it's extremely awesome if you are on a forum and you want to read some text, that it will automatically try to reflow it. And most of the times it seems to be performing pretty good here at reflowing. While on the Note 2 it doesn't reflow. But then, let's see here, can we zoom in as much? You can probably also, as you can see here, you can zoom in a little bit more on the Galaxy Note 2. And both, of course, connected to my home Wi-Fi. And you can see also that they both have a different browser here, because HTC has their own browser, Samsung has their own browser, but both, of course, in Google Play Store you can install the Chrome browser, which will sync, if you use Google Chrome on your computer, will sync all the tabs and everything to your phone if you would like that. But the device here, white color, looks more white here on the HTC One. And you can see definitely the difference here in text reflow. Could be extremely nice here if you want to take a look at all the pictures here. Here you have to kind of swipe. Now, also, let's take a quick look here at some gaming. So let's first fire up a Gameloft game, Asphalt 7. And you can see it was already open up here on my Note phone. Okay, now that I definitely can see that the display looks more interesting here. When we have a lot of colors, the AMOLED display on the Galaxy Note 2 looks a little bit more alive, I would say. But then of course we can hear the sound here, amazing sound with the stereo speakers on the HTC One.
Welcome to Hawaii.
What was that? What was that? Okay. That was random. That was extremely random. Wow. It just, I'm sure what happened there. That was weird. But as you can see, I mean, that's the problem with some phones. You know, when you are running on older software, you can get some problems. So you can see here the performance here when we play this game on the HTC One. Amazing performance. The game doesn't freeze. And the phone feels really good to hold in my hand here because it's a big phone. Or I mean, because it's a very solid phone. Feels really good with the aluminum back. And it doesn't have that weird thing with the speakers, with like the Express Z did have, that it had the speaker set over here where I tap my finger. That's very bad because if you hold your finger there, you will hear poor sound. And kind of HTC has designed the HTC One so you kind of don't want to have the fingers here on the side because it's a little bit curved. And also that the back is curved, you want to have your hands more on the back side of the phone, definitely. Now let's see here if we can get some gaming up. And as you see, the sound sounds maybe like 3 or 4 times better here on the HTC One. Now let's see if we can fire up this game. So we can see here that with Gameloft games, Mali 400 doesn't run that well. I can definitely feel that the performance is around at least twice better on the HTC One. This one has the struggle to play the Asphalt 7 game. So it doesn't feel good at all. I would say it almost is unplayable. Because it is a new game, they've optimized it for newer phones probably. Now let's take a look at a Rockstar game, which I actually think will perform better on the Mali 400. So let's fire up GTA Vice City here. And again, when you hear good sound from the stereo speakers on the HTC One, it really adds to the experience of quality things. Okay, now let's try out the performance here. So we can see here that the performance is super good on Mali 400 on this game, because Rockstar seems to be focusing more on Mali 400. So if you're a big fan of this game, and you know, then this phone could definitely be something for you, because it has a big nice display here. Whoa! No problem whatsoever. super smooth performance.
All bridges and sunny roads in the Helsinki metropolitan area have been closed because of a severe weather warning. Meteorologists are tracking Hurricane Maui, which is
It's kind of insane how this game can run extremely awesome here on the Note 2. No problem whatsoever. I mean, that really explains to us how important it is that the developers backs up the kind of hardware behind the phone. And this game definitely is backed up here by, Rockstar really has been optimizing this game for Mali 400. The same processor that you do get in a lot of Galaxy devices. Now let's check it out here on the HTC One.
Yo, you know where I am?
And it runs good. Let's see here when we jump in a car. But I don't think it runs as good. It feels a little bit more choppy here. Not by much, but a little bit. If you would want the best performance here, then I probably wouldn't go with the HTC One in this kind of game. I really do believe that they can optimize the experience more here. Because the GPU is a lot better than 320, but it still doesn't feel as good when I'm playing the game. So quickly look there at some gaming. You can see how it could be different depending on how the developers has been focusing on the different hardware. Now let's take a look at another thing. So let's take a quick look here at the reading experience. So let's fire up Amazon Kindle. And again, I mean, when you have a lot of colors, this is something I've been saying a lot of times. When you have a lot of colors, you probably will enjoy the Galaxy's AMOLED display a little bit more. Let's see here if I can download a book. I don't have anything downloaded on this phone. So of course, with the high resolution display here on the HTC One, everything displays like amazing. Why does this one doesn't wanna? So you can get some software problems, as you can see here with the Note 2. It's getting a little bit old. It's been out for some time now, and something that happens is that software gets updated to the latest hardware. And then you can get some problems like this, that sometimes some weird things happens, and that's something that you have to deal with because everything's moving forward so quick now with apps updating and everything, and sometimes you get kind of in between here. I mean, it shouldn't take this long to just download an ebook. And you can see some smaller things here that you get some tiny lag sometimes in the Note 2 also. I mean, it's starting to get a little bit old. I mean, it's a big boy now, getting a little bit old. Okay, whatever. It doesn't want to do that thing. Could also be because we have two games open up in the background. Both these two phones comes with 2 GB of RAM. Come on. And if you don't want to have some small things like this happen sometimes, I mean, I myself am a perfectionist. I always want to have the latest hardware. I really always want to have the latest hardware to have less problems. And sometimes you get problems like this just because you don't have the latest hardware. The apps aren't updated as much. That's also something that I do think is important, that you get the latest version of Android pretty quick, and Samsung seems to be pretty good at updating some of their devices. Now some devices probably they can't help everyone. And then also, of course, with the 1080p display here on the HTC One, we can see a lot more text. So now, when we are here in reading mode, great, limit. Yeah, I can see that the display looks a lot more bright here. White, most of the times looks better on LCD displays, more brighter. So definitely white, better, more pleasurable experience. And most of the times when you do read, you do have the color white. And also you can of course change here. Let's see what happens if we change to kind of like a sepia effect here. So you get a total different look here at the kind of how the displays react here at different colors. Now let's take a look at dark. I actually do believe that you should get some more darker colors here on the AMOLED display here. Yeah, dark or black really looks black here on the Note 2 phone when you are here in reading mode. But then also white looks more white here, and usually the text you're reading is white. So I would say the performance here is definitely, you can also see that the text is a little bit more crisp if you zoom in here on the HTC One, just because, yeah, you can see a difference between 1080p and 720p, but extremely major, no. But it's eye candy. It's a lot about eye candy. I have to tell you that. Now let's also take a look at some benchmarking, because people always enjoy these kinds of benchmarking programs. And let's open up Antutu here. That will test out some different things: CPU, memory, reading speed and stuff. There we go, getting the scores here. So you see almost 18,000 here on the Note 2, and almost 22,000 here on the HTC One. We can see that the biggest difference here is the GPU. Also interesting, in this test, the GPU seems to perform equally, while the CPU here is a little bit better. I actually thought that the CPU would perform better here in the HTC One. Interesting. Okay, so we'll be running a new jailbreak, or what am I saying? A new benchmarking program that's a little bit more heavy, even also for new smartphones like the HTC One. And that program is 3D Mark. Let's see here. Is the phone getting warm? I think that I feel a little bit more heat here on the HTC One, but then it's in metallic, metallic or metal, not metallic, or is it the same? I'm not sure. But you get metal, so that might also produce a little bit more heat. Let's run this ice storm here, and let's put on the beautiful speakers here on the HTC One. And then also in some apps, because you don't have a menu key on the HTC One, you will see this menu button here, which can look very ugly in some apps. So this will be going on for a while. Oh yes, it was something I did forget, that just because the display on the HTC One is a 1080p versus 720p on the Note 2, then of course it's a heavier program for the HTC One because it has to render more pixels. So that's also something that you might want to consider when you are looking at these scores. So it's kind of funny with this program that around 50% into the program, it goes quiet. I'm not sure why. It's random. I know. Maybe they should fix that. There we go, getting the score now. Getting a score of 3000 and triple here on the HTC One. So here we can really see on the power of Adreno 320 and the Snapdragon 600. So to sum up this video, which is the phone I would pick? Like everyone probably want to know. Well, I have to say that I'm a Samsung lover. I mean, first of all, I'm such a Samsung lover. I used the S2, bought that, then the Note 2 used for 6 months, S3 used that for 6 months, Note 2 used that for 6 months, and now I'm on my S3 again, 4G variant, because 4G wasn't available in the beginning of S3 in my country. And I have to tell you this, it's a great device, and I can't wait to see the next Note device. And we do have also the Galaxy S4. I don't use that one as my main smartphone right now because I'm reviewing it, but if I wouldn't be a reviewer, I would use the S4 right now. But now I'm going with the S3 4G variant, and I'm going to say that I love the Note series. I love it so much. I love it to death. But the thing is that it is getting a little bit old on the software side. You did see there I had problem in a game. I've also, when I used the Note 2, when I have a ton of apps, millions of pictures on the phone, it gets extremely slow, and I've been having a lot of problems with that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to wait for the next Note, then I'm going to buy it, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to love it. Hopefully it won't be too big for me, because if it's going to be 5.9 inch, that's a big phone. So I would say that I'm not gonna. I now can take a few months, and then I would easily be able to go with this one because I want to have the real quality hardware inside of the phone. Also, I love the feeling that this is a quality, the quality feeling of the device that. It kind of matched my MacBook Pro design. This looks like the next iPhone. It really looks like HTC did take a look at what Apple has been doing, and then it had kind of the same design here as with the MacBook Pros, I think, with the stereo speakers. So I would easily go with this one because I want that nice hardware feel. I want to be able to download the latest software updates that support the latest hardware. I'm gonna have to say that I will pick the HTC One here as a winner, and also the stereo speakers. I mean, the gaming experience, the music experience, and also that I do a lot of reading right now would be amazing on the HTC One. But I'm gonna tell you this, I would only use it for a few months because I want the next Note device, bigger screen, 2013 hardware. I want that, and I really do enjoy the S Pen that I can take pictures and everything. But right now, it's close. It's very, very close to the HTC One. That it also has a better battery. But right now, I'm waiting for the next Note. And I would easily be able to go with this one during the summer because people would ask questions like, what is that device and everything. And even though I might not be a huge lover of the experience with HTC Sense, I can easily change that. But this would just be one step away a little bit from Samsung, and then come back easily to the Note 1 if something doesn't fail horribly on that phone. This is a beautiful device, that's why I will pick this one as a winner. Even though Zoe, I don't like the camera that much, but mainly I take normal pictures, so I won't really care. But I want that quality feeling of high resolution pictures like 8 megapixels or 30 megapixels or above. So I will probably go back to Samsung with the Note 1. I want to be using this one as my main smartphone right now because I'm a reviewer. And if I would be using a main smartphone right now, it would be the S4, and I made a full review on that if you want to check it out. But if I compare these ones, the big thing why I would go with HTC right now is that the hardware is a little bit old in the Note 2 right now. And I'm a guy, I'm a geek, I want the best, I want some power, and that's what I do get in the HTC One. So quick little video here, quick little video. So HTC One stereo speakers, metal design, Zoe blink feed, two things I don't use that much, but the specs, that's why I pick it over the Note. The Note 2 still amazing, S Pen, bigger battery, amazing, removable battery and SD card. That's also some killer features that I do enjoy, but I'm planning on going back to Samsung. Or actually, I'm a Samsung guy right now with the S4. So if you want to check out my S4 versus HTC One video, I will also try to leave that in the description or something. If you didn't like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see a specific video, you can tell me that in the comment section down below or on my channel page in the discussion area. If you want me to review your product or whatever, you can also leave me an inbox message about that. But until next time, have an awesome day, and also you can leave me your opinions down below, which phone you think is the winner here or should be the winner. I would love to hear about that. So until next time, have an awesome day, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video. Yeah, peace out.